people know about New Year resolutions. And while I am not against New Year resolutions, I am not a fan of New Year resolutions. You know why? Because when you say, okay, I'm having this New Year resolution, this year I'm going to do this, that, and that, and you make a long list of things you want to achieve in the year, you are motivated at that point. But most times, many people don't make a plan of how to achieve it. So they make the goal and they pin it up somewhere and they don't make a plan to achieve it. So first week, they keep going. Second week, they start to get tired. Third week, it's a lot of effort. Fourth week, you know what? It's too hard. And then people fall off the bandwagon. So come last week of January, people are back to square zero and they are struggling to make things work. And there we have it. So how are we going to make 2021 a year that would catapult us to where we want to get to? Because even if we are happy where we are now, we always aspire to be better, don't we? We do. So, one main thing is to remember where you are now. Don't forget, whatever it is you want to achieve in life, you need to start with you. When I say start with you, it means looking at what you have now, what you have achieved now, what you have in your hands, and actually using that to do what you want to achieve, to work on what you want to achieve. For those who are familiar with the biblical story of Moses, there was one day, so just in case you can't remember the story, or maybe you're familiar, okay, or maybe you don't know the story, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. So there's this man called Moses, and he had run away because he did something that he felt was unforgivable. So when he ran away, leaving the people he thought were his own parents that he found out that they weren't, and then also leaving the people who he discovered were his people but rejected him, he settled in a strange land and he was accepted there. So one day, while he was watching his father-in-law's flock, he saw a bush on fire, but it wasn't burning. You know, just imagine you see fire somewhere and it's not being consumed. That's an interesting sight. So he was drawn to that. And as he approached, it was God in there calling him not to approach with his shoes on, because where he was stepping on was holy ground. And so that was that part of the story. Now, the mission he was given was that he should go and rescue the people of Israel from the land of Egypt. That was the mission. And so he came up with excuses. Oh God, you know, I can't speak. I'm not good with speaking. I'm really, and he came up with all sorts of excuses. But the Lord said he was going to go. And he says, I have nothing. And God said to him, what have you got in your hand? And he, being a shepherd, watching over his father-in-law's flock, he had a stick, a rod in his hand. That was the rod that was used to work miracles and wonders when he went to the land of Egypt. So my question to you now is, where you are today, on this day, the 29th of December, 2020, as you approach 2021, what have you got in your hand? What skill set have you had? What attitude have you had? What thoughts do you have? What words are you clinging to? What have you got in your hand? So while you think about that, I just want you to probably take some time. If you've got a journal or a book, just write down, what have I got in my hands? It's a question you need to ask yourself. Because what you have in your hands can make you or break you. What you have in your hands can limit you or propel you. So what is it going to be?